In more local news, several groups, including employees of state institutions, university students and teachers, staged protests in Colombo today. Most of the protests took place opposite the presidential secretariat.
Assistant officers attached to the Health Ministry's National Dengue Control Unit, terminated employees of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, project assistants at ministries, and depositors at the Gampaha Sanasa Bank took part in these protests. Among the demands were calls to expedite the issuance of pensions and the reinstatement of officers. A group claiming to have lost their jobs at the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation since the new government came into power staged a protest demanding to reinstate them in service. Their protest outside the presidential secretariat took place for the 8th day.
Our children have decided to end their lives. They are affected to that extent. We humbly request the president to give us back our jobs. We don't need our overdue salaries.
Members of the All Island Project Assistance Collective staged a protest around issues faced while reporting to work despite being issued appointment letters.
There are 7,500 of us. Since the 16th of September, we do not have a job. We left our previous jobs to move to our new workplace. Now we have lost both. We don't want a special agitation site to engage in protests. What we want is for employment based on our qualifications.
Meanwhile, individuals attached to the collective of retired Triforces personnel staged a protest outside the presidential secretariat. They demanded that steps be taken to grant pensions for retired soldiers.
When we retire in January of 2016, they said, here is your salary worth 35,000 rupees. We were told that our salaries would be increased by 10,000 rupees and 15,000 rupees by January of 2020. Now there is a supplementary estimate. Weren't soldiers and retired state officials being considered? All state workers worked on behalf of our country. This has become a country where all of you are on our shoulders. Do not bring circulars which do not pay pension until the demise of retired soldiers. We request that our overdue payments be given to us along with our salary in March.
Meanwhile, depositors at the Gampaha Sanasa Bank staged a protest outside the presidential secretariat. They demanded that their pensions be granted immediately. Members of the Ceylon Teacher Services Union staged a protest at the Fort Railway Station before proceeding towards the presidential secretariat. Their protest revolved against the failure to provide pensions for retired teachers.
Pay retired teachers their pensions in keeping with the circulars issued in agreement with the Finance Ministry. Otherwise, we will carry out massive protests throughout the country. We came to the Presidential Secretariat to deliver the message that we are ready to resort to other means if we fail to win our demands.
The protesters, who were given a chance to discuss their concerns at the Presidential Secretariat, claimed that the talks had ended in a stalemate. This is the manner in which they staged a protest by obstructing the Gaul Road near the Presidential Secretariat. Our correspondent noted that officers attached to the police anti-riot squad arrived at the location. The protesters were removed from the road before being sent to the agitation site.